If you have a moment, there's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Go on.
I appreciate your time. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air. I think expecting you to embrace the standards of the Brotherhood without having a history with us was unfair. And given that you've adjusted so well to our beliefs, I don't think I needed to push so hard.
So there is a human being under all that power armor after all.
Sometimes I need a reminder, but yes, there is. When I was an initiate, my sponsor was Paladin Krieg, toughest squad leader I ever served with. He was a model soldier, embodying the values every trainee was striving to achieve. Fiercely loyal, secure in his beliefs, and brave to a fault. From the moment I was assigned to his squad, I was singled out. It felt like he was pushing me harder than the rest of the team. I fought by his side for years, and we had some seriously close calls.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he had his reasons.
If he had, I never discovered them. After I was promoted to Paladin, and I'd moved on to my own squad, the news was like being kicked in the stomach. I mean, I'd lost... It's taken me a long time to realize it. But the reason Krieg... It's because I believe in you.
Uh-huh. What happened at Adams Air Force Base?
Back in the capital wasteland, the Brotherhood was at war with a traitorous group of rebels who called themselves the Enclave. They maintained a mobile command post at the remains of Adams Air Force Base, just outside of Washington, D.C. The Brotherhood spearheaded an assault on the command post, which was ultimately successful, but costly. Quite a few soldiers died in that battle.
Mm-hmm.
He made his mark on history. And
sure. I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. Well, I've said what I...
Right.
I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Would it be possible to speak off the record for a moment?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is difficult for me to say, so... When you were first placed under my sponsorship, despite all that, at this point, honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could teach you about being a Brotherhood. It's apparent from your attitude and your actions that you intend to keep...
You're beating around the bush.
Is it that obvious? I've never been very good at these things. Let me start at the beginning. I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand. While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble. When the Brotherhood came through on a recruiting run, we felt like it was...
Rivet City. It must be post-war, because I've never heard of it.
You're right. It was a settlement, built inside the remains of a beached aircraft carrier. One of the safest places to live in the capital wasteland, until the Brotherhood arrived. It was the perfect location for me to try my hand at being a merchant.
I didn't expect your entire life...
I'm getting to it.
Right.
Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Prydwen, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. It took some convincing, but I was able to persuade my CO to let me assemble a squad and search for him. It took almost 3 weeks, but we tracked those wretched abominations, had slaughtered the mutant bastards, used their FE. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to...
Hey, you did what the Brotherhood taught you.
Then you understand. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen others, but I'd never consider any of them to be... It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all. I don't want to go through that.
Well, there goes my dream of being reborn as a super mutant.
Glad to have changed your mind. I just thought you deserved to know. If you feel that I've overstepped my bounds, whatever the case may be. I know this may sound like a strange question, but tell me, what do you think about Scribe Haylen?
Scribe Haylen? Why? Is something wrong with her?
No, not at all. Haylen's doing well. I simply wanted to talk to you about her, but I wanted to know what you thought of her first.
I don't think I know her well enough to give you a military evaluation.
That's a shame. Perhaps you should spend more time working with her then.
Sure.
But I wasn't looking for an evaluation of her performance as a scribe. I wanted to know what you thought of Haylen as a person.
So there is a heart beating under all.
I suppose I deserve that. The truth is, since you and I are getting along so well,
Sure. Tell me.
Let me start from a few months before you found us. One of my men was shot multiple times by raiders. Haylen stayed by that knight's side for 2 days straight, without sleep. I decided that his suffering needed to end, and ordered Haylen to administer an oath, even though I'm certain she wanted to continue fighting for that knight's life.
It sounds like she was simply...
Of course she was. But the decision whether or not to eat the point is what happened later. That Haylen approached me while I was on watch. After what felt like an eternity. A few minutes later, right then it hit me. Maybe I pushed her too hard. That's why I'm worried about her. And for that...
Come on, Dance.
I don't know. Look, 4 soldiers. Over half of my team are gone. I understand the risks that come with it, but how can anyone have confidence in me anymore? Hell, how can I have confidence in myself?
The way you held Haylen?
Well...
Right.
I signed up to be your sponsor. So all joking aside, it's comforting to know that
Sure. I'm here anytime.
Good. I may take you up on that someday. Anyway, I'm only sorry you had to see...
What the fuck was that? You are so dead!
Sweet.
I'll find you! Move up, I got you covered. God damn it, I need covering fire!
Negative visual on the target. Send them back to hell.
Someone there?
Just give up!
Not getting past me.
I need some goddamn fire support!
I got all day. Having fun, huh? I can do this all day. Playing games with me, huh?
Remain vigilant. I know they're still here.
Come on out. I'll make it nice and quick. You can trust me. There.
So what's for dinner? What's for dinner? I'm hungry. They weren't huge.